YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Big Will Allen Creative, and I'm finally back with another video. I've been slacking a little bit, but bear with me. And kind of like a early disclaimer, just so you know, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so if my voice sounds a little or anything in this video, that's why. But I'm back. We're gonna start dropping these bangers. I'm getting through them now, so if you like the content you see on my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. And make sure you give me some likes or some comments so you can help that algorithm and let me know what you're feeling, what you're not feeling. But as you see by the title of today's video, talking about a camera that I feel is very slept on since it dropped. Now I think part of the problem is Nikon is a bit behind Sony and Canon and others when it comes to the video aspect of cameras, but Nikon dropped a entry level camera not too long ago, the Z30, and I had the camera for a little bit, and let me tell you something. That camera, like I said, slept on. Like that camera, to be an entry level camera and to be what it is, branded towards for content creation, it blew me away. It blew me away in a lot of aspects. Now, if you don't know the specs, I'm not going to go over all of them because there's other videos, but just so you kind of understand what we're dealing with here, 21 megapixels, crop sensor. It's 4K up to 30, 120 at 1080. It has no viewfinder, but it is a beautiful camera with great ergonomics, the button layouts, the way the camera looks, the menu system, and just how it functions is amazing. When I first used this camera, what blew me away is I just turned it on and I put on the automatic settings until I was able to dial in and really get my like the way I would want it to look in there. And by the automatic settings alone, I was blown away. Like as somebody who's jumping up from a phone to a camera for the first time and you don't know anything about ISO or aperture or exposure or how you should adjust these things and frame rates and how you should adjust white balance to lighting and things of that nature. This camera does a great job of doing it for you. I was using the kit lens for it, and a lot of times with automatic setting and kit lenses, the footage just looks really bad. Like, it's not sharp and clear. But I will tell you what, this camera on automatic settings, for the purposes of vlogging and things of that nature, it does a great job and has a great picture. Um, Once I was able to dial in the settings that I liked and what I would like to use, I love the fact that they had on top a little U1, U2, kind of like a memory recall button on like Sony's or things of that nature. But you was able to save it in there, and just be able to switch it. Like I had it set up to like if I was in the house talking head videos, that was in one setting. If I went outside to vlog and do other things, that was another setting. And it was just so easy to switch back and forth. And it wasn't like, well, hold on, let me dial this in and dial that in. And it's just like I said, the ergonomics of it was wonderful. It was amazing. Um, the audio coming from the camera installed microphone, like I will tell you what, it was not bad at all. And Small Rig makes a little adapter that you can put over it to have like the little dead cats over them. I didn't get them, but that's an option if you want something that's gonna help you out a little bit when it's windy. But yeah, so my experience with this camera with the 4K is the 4K is pretty decent. It's not bad at all. Um, what I will say is where the Sony ZVE10 is really good as like a talking head in studio camera. The Nikon Z30 is a really good take it outside vlog. Just take it with you as you're doing your daily lives. Um, and yeah, it's very wonderful. Now when I first got the camera, I couldn't find anything about it. So I like when I get cameras, I like to look at certain creators that I like and see like, oh, what settings are they using for this, or how do they have this dialed in, and I might take a couple things from what they got going on and make it my own. But with this camera, you really like my time of having it, you really couldn't find anything. Matter of fact, the only real person that I could find that had this camera um, was a female vlogger by the name of Catherine Manning. Now, I never heard of her until then, and I'm kind of a fan now. She's got some pretty cool videos. But it was her that like I watched some of her vlogs, and I was just amazed. Like honestly speaking, I thought at certain points that she was using a more high end Nikon camera and just saying that it was the Z30 she was using to promote it and whatnot. But no, it wasn't that at all. And like I've seen videos where she shows that she uses the Z30, she praises it, and I get it. Like she's an experienced YouTube vlogger that's been doing this for years, and she uses that camera. That's quote unquote a beginner camera. If that tells you anything. Now, some of the drawbacks, because not every camera is perfect. Obviously, it has no electronic viewfinder, so if you want to take pictures and you are one of those people that like need the viewfinder or feel like you have to have a viewfinder to compose pictures, obviously, it doesn't have one, but it takes really decent pictures. Um, this camera is one of the first cameras that I've had fun with in a long time. And I don't mean like, oh, I got a new camera fun. Like I mean genuine fun. I said this in Prime Gear Weekly last week that like, I was at the park doing some videos with this camera, and my wife was with me, and I just I called her over and we just took some cute couples photos and videos, and it was just a genuinely good time. And I haven't had that type of time with a camera in a while, because a lot of times I get new cameras to review or try, and they're fun, it's awesome, I get to try a new camera, but it can also feel kind of like work sometimes, and it is what it is. It's not a bad thing, but it's just my experience of like it, when a camera like that can just genuinely make you enjoy using a camera, like that should speak volumes about the camera itself. Um, Now, for the price range of this camera, and when I got it, it was around Thanksgiving, and it was like pre Black Friday sales, and for it and two lenses that cover your whole focal length, just about the 16 to 50 and the 50 to 250, like you get those two lenses straight off the bat with it, and it was like 800. You can get it with just the 16 to 50 lens, and that was I think like 7. Or if you already have a Nikon lens system, say you have the Z50 or something of that nature, then you can buy the camera itself for I think it was about like 600. But like for that price, you get decent 4K. Um, you get a camera that works very well. You can grow in your Nikon system. Say eventually you outgrow the camera and you move on to like a Z6 II, a Z7 II, or a Z9. You can always use it for like a B cam or a backup, or it's just like, and that's one of the things that I always try to think about when I get cameras. Like, all right, so I have this camera, and when I grow, or say I outgrow this camera, can I use this camera still as like a B camera? Can I, what can I do with this camera still? And it's one of those cameras that I really do feel you can use it with a B camera for like a Z6 or something of that nature. So, there's that part of it. Um, the color, this is important. Hold on. This is important to me. Now, you have your Canon fanboys that are Canon color, and you have your Sony boys that are like, Sony colors. Nikon, kudos. It's the first camera that I've seen that got darker skin tones. Right. Like, brown skin, or, African Americans, like skin tones. Like, a lot of cameras make it really yellow or really green, and it was the first one that I've seen that just it gave it that proper reddish, just it's hard to explain. And if you know, you know. And kudos to you, Nikon, because when you're color grading, footage, and a lot of people that have this camera are probably not even color grading, or they're new into color grading or very minimal. But if you do color grade this footage, and it doesn't even have like a log, it has a flat neutral profile, but it has no log profile. But color grading any Nikon footage, like, just the fact that it's just like the skin tones are so on point. Like, and I sent a clip that I recorded of me straight out the box when I got the camera to my boy Donovan, and the first thing he said was like, "That's automatic settings. Like, the skin tones are just, oh my." And so if you have Nikon, or you have the Z30 or anything of that nature, then you probably know about that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Nikon Z30. I didn't want to make a video that was too long, because obviously I don't have the camera no more, and I'm gonna put some footage in throughout this video. You probably already seen some of it by now, but just so you can kind of get an understanding of what you're dealing with when it comes to this camera. But if you ask me, should you buy this camera if it's what you're looking for? Hell yeah. Without a doubt. If it's in your price range and you're looking for a camera and it's got what you're looking for, then yes. I'll be honest, if you have a higher budget than what this camera costs, and you're asking me, should you get this camera over certain other cameras, then the answer is going to be no. Like, if you're at a $2,000 price range, and you're looking into jumping from a smartphone to a camera, there's a lot more options that over time will serve you better. And I have a video coming out on that topic soon, so be on the lookout for it. Make sure you go back and watch Prime Gear Weekly from last week if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen any of the Prime Gear Weekly episodes. We're 2 episodes in. The third one's coming out soon, so be on the lookout for it. Big Will, Wild and Creative, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's talk about it.